are going to be great. Oh, I like her already. Hi, Auntie.
Hi, Titi.
Hi, Deborah. I said hello to you, and then because Hershey was talking, and then I said, by the way, is Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah? Is that your auntie? She's like, yep. So thanks for being here. And we are live 23 seconds. So busy afternoon. So thank you, everybody who is going to be popping in, who will be watching on playback. And we'll just give this a few, seconds here for the notifications to drop and everything. Um, Lots of shows going on. So we'll be seeing y'all a little bit later, probably. And just yeah, it's just one of those days. Got the cup of Joe, book bewitched. Hello, darlings. Well, hello back.
Hello. Hello,
Hello,
hello, hello.
Maria. So, like I said, people will be coming in. So today, my special guest is Hershe, the shadow reader. Hey, girl. Hey, as
Hey,
Allison would say to
girl.
me. So,
Hello, hello, hello.
hello, hello. And KK is here. That is Kari.
Hello.
Hello, Kari. Thanks for popping in. And this is the first time Hershe has been on my channel. So I'm very excited. Oh, Lindsay. Now, Lindsay is a friend of mine. She doesn't live far from me. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello.
She pops in every now and then. I hope you are doing well. And Lindsay, with women's group, Amanda, not Amanda. Why did I call her Amanda? That is so weird. Amy and Rochelle and I miss you. We missed the old group, so hopefully one of these days you can rejoin us and the gang will be, get the gang back together. That would be nice. So yeah, Lindsay's cool. I've known Lindsay now. I think Lindsay's for 5 years or so. Pretty cool.
That's what's
Um,
up. That's what's up.
yeah. So wow, where to even start? I was talking backstage with Hershey, and I said I love my guests to be able to, being a guest. I wanted her to share who she was, her process, how she reads, and there's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. How are you? Good to see you. Um, and oh, we can tell her she's so happy when she's seeing people popping in. So yeah. I totally get it. When I go live and when you see certain familiar names popping into your
hmm
chat, you get
hmm
all happy, you get all
hmm Yeah, I'm
excited,
a big fangirl for Thomas, so I got a few of them that I
Oh,
fangirl on real hard. Him and Brian from Blessing Nerd Tarot. Man, when
oh
they come
really,
on,
Brian? Okay.
I'm like this on the screen. What are they gonna do next? What is it? What? Come on, hurry up.
Very cool. You can feel the love. And there's Lori. Hello, Lori. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us. Yes, and I think I have do I have a moderator in the chat? If I don't, let me know who I can make a moderator, and so that people who have channels can go ahead and put their links into the chat. So as I keep an eye on people coming in, why don't you go ahead, Hershey, and share with us whatever it is that you would love to share um, about yourself, your channel, your process, and I give the floor to you.
Okay, so
And then you here.
the shortest, sweetest version. I
Doesn't have to
am
be short. Does it? You have the floor. You're my
not
guest, so
necessarily short. It's just the shortest, sweetest version.
the sweet. Okay. Well, there's a little. You could put a little salt in there too if you want. Maybe a little
There's
sweet.
always just a pinch of it. I can't get away from it.
Go
Um.
for it.
Okay, so first and foremost, I work with the dead. I am a root worker. I don't claim to work in light because I am light. I take my light into the darkness and I literally undo traumatic and I help people work through events that molded them subconsciously into a conscious person that is in control of nothing. And I help them restrand everything once we take it all apart. Like, imagine the biggest crochet blanket that you spent your whole life putting together. Yeah, now we're going to take it apart, granny square by granny square, chain by chain. We're going to literally take it all apart. We're going to work backwards. And then once all that is done and you're ready, you get to sit there and put yourself back together the way you want to be seen, the way you want to be heard, the way you want to be felt. And you get to do it healthy. You get to do it in a way that nobody else has influenced your thoughts, your decisions, your choices. Everything that you are building is now for the embetterment, the grow, and the glow of your future. So, as a root worker, I work with a lot of crystals. I work with the dead a lot when it comes to helping people connect, to help them see maybe things that they were too young to understand at a time. I can maybe connect to some energies and help them maybe get a higher truth perspective, not necessarily uh, pointing fingers, but sometimes just seeing a higher truth version of it, the bigger picture of it helps people get closure. So, although there's never really any true closure in life, there is ways to find easy attempts
Balance.
to find placement in your life while you are working to be a better person. But it's all about the shadow. You have to work
Mhm.
it.
Now, if I remember correctly, I don't talk to this person anymore. She does folk magic, and I believe Roots is associated with folk magic. Am I correct?
So it's not necessarily like I don't know if like the chakras or like root magic and all of that would apply to the subconscious, because in theory then I'm at your crown. I'm reading to your crown, I'm reading to your subconscious. But as a root worker, it's more about the the understanding that you have to come from the bottom up. I work from the
Yes.
bottom up. I don't work from the top down. I
Interesting.
don't work like that. I work from the bottom up so that so that all that everything is, it's refeeded, it's reseeded, it's re got new dirt, it's ready to flourish. Because if you got dirty roots and your roots aren't clean, then very well there isn't much happening at the top. So, and if
Right.
that's all light and there's no darkness up here, but you're dying still, you have to find that balance. So you have to start. For me, it's about starting in the roots. It's about tearing it all apart and starting all over. Sorry, I'm feeling like something's crawling on my leg, even though there is literally nothing crawling on my leg. It feels like there's something crawling on my left leg. It's a little weird, but I'm here. I'm here.
One of the guys wanting to say hello.
Maybe.
Kari said that Hershey, I love the line of work you're in and what you do, getting to the root cause instead of superficial treatment.
Thank you. Thank you.
So very nice. That's why
Thank.
too I was really excited to have Hershey join me because right now shadow work is just being tossed around a lot, not just within our community, but in general, even in places coming across on Pinterest and other forums. And so I was like, okay, well, let me, and with finding out that Hershey actually does work, you know, basically works strictly with, I don't know if I should say strictly is the correct word, but focuses mainly on the shadow.
Mhm.
Because like you said, everything's roots, everything is underground. That's where, we plant, we grow, we nourish. So I wanted to have Ron because I felt that she would be able to really explain it from a person who actually practices,
Mhm.
what they preach,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
So,
And I love that, that people understand that and people see that and they want to learn more because even in my women's group and stuff, when I talk about, shadow self, it's like I keep telling people you can't have the shadow without the light and vice versa. They're both beautiful
Mhm.
aspects of ourselves and not to be afraid of it. So I love that that's what you do, that you help. You're like that bridge, that
Um,
conduit. And Book Bewitched says, how does that work tangible? I'm not sure what she means by that.
so
I'll let her
I was gonna say if
reiterate
she
that.
would give an
Hi,
example
Lisa.
of,
Mhm.
hi Lise, if she would give an example of what she means, I would happily answer it the best of my ability. It's I have my own beliefs, guys, just like everybody else does, but my story, there was no light in my story. I had light and love and a family dynamic much differently than most people. Um, I had to choose sometimes the worst of two evils. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't always have a choice when I was forced to make a choice. So um, I found that there was times in my life where I was the strongest when I took light completely out. And I know that some people aren't going to understand that, but
Mhm.
they've probably never been in trenches I've been in or in places I've been in. But I guarantee you that there is not one stone, one precious gem, one crystal that is in anybody's possession right now that was an earthbound crystal that came from light. It had to have an extensive amount of darkness and an extensive amount of pressure to form,
Yeah.
to create, to metastasize, and be what it was ready to be once it was unearthed, pulled out of a cave, pulled from under a clamshell, wherever the darkness is that was holding it and creating it.
Mhm.
That's the same place I crawled from. So I know I am just as precious as that diamond, as that any other stone, and whatever it is going on my left side really needs to chill out. This is not this is not working, guys. Come on. Something is in this area. Sorry, I'm not usually this distracted. They usually have me a little more. It literally feels like there's like a walking stick or something like walking down my leg. It's kind of weird.
Hmm.
If anybody has something going on the left side of their legs, they I can feel it because there's nothing there. Literally, there's nothing there.
I do well. I do know of somebody in chat who's going to have knee surgery
On the left
or had
side,
or had knee surgery. Um, the person in chat, if you feel comfortable sharing where you have had the surgery or where you are going to be having that surgery, if you feel comfortable, if
like
it's
a tickling kind of
if
feeling
it's the
going
left
on.
side, go ahead because I don't want to put people's. Although she did mention it earlier sooner. Here, let me just because I know Lindsay mentioned. Lindsay, if you're still here, hon, is your knee that you're having surgery? Is that on your left hand side? And if you don't want to share that, that's quite all right. We can, but it's just interesting that Hershey said I have something going on with my leg or my knee or something.
Thing over here on my knee.
So just if you feel comfortable. Ooh,
Uh oh.
wow, that was weird. Um, so yeah, so maybe it's because I didn't welcome your guide. So guides, welcome to Hershey to my channel. But Book Bewitched said my text was changed by her phone. But you were talking about the root work, the shadow work, and she says when I think that's what she was meaning about how does that work? Okay, but how does that work tangibly, physically? Because it's resonating with her. So I guess what she's trying to get at is, and if I'm wrong, Book Bewitched, let me know. But um, the work that you do spiritually with shadow, with the subconscious, getting to the root cause of a lot of things. Um, how does your work? How can we manifest that in a tangible manner? I believe, um, and flowing. Just right here, really quick too. Flowing just said my whole body's aching and my left leg is in pain.
it's like a
to be.
tingly tickly kind of thing going on down here, but to me it's like like a big scar is healing, like a huge scar is healing, and you know how you get that kind of itchy tingly kind of thing.
Mm.
So I would say that there is some kind of healing going on, but
Lindsay, okay. Lindsay said hers is the right, so it's not the
right.
left.
Well, this is definitely on my left, and it's kind of like my just above the knee, and then it kind of stops right at the knee on my left side. So I guess if we're mirroring each other, it would be your right, my left. But yeah,
Maybe.
it's like a healing situation weird going on. It's weird. It was fine like a minute and a half ago, and now it's annoying. But when it comes to physical shadow work, nobody can do that work
Holly.
but you. But you can have somebody like me that has the abilities that I have to kind of invade your space, and only with very explicit permission, one-on-one situations do I take people and I allow them to interact with me, and I get permission from my entire team. And if you're at a receiving point for to receive me and 5 guides, we're literally going to go in, we're going to tear your subconscious apart, and we are going to focus on what is actually detrimentally important, and then you just literally start working backwards, and there's no pattern, there's no rhyme, there's no rhythm. It's literally working backwards. If we have to start at 12 and then go to 2 and then jump back to 15 and then go back to 4, however it has been interlocked and interlaid, and you have consciously become the person that you can't stand, you have to unwork that. And it is not ugly, I mean, it is not friendly, and it is incredibly hard work, but you have to do every bit of the work. I will help you, I will guide you, and I will dig in them trenches with you. But the work is extensively self work. But when you have a coach helping you, it makes it easier until you get in the habit of it. Once you get in the habit of doing it, it's like second nature. It's like breathing. But until you actually get into it, sometimes it is better to be guided through it.
So how did you come across knowing that you had this ability? Are you the only one in your family that has? Well, I know your auntie likes to read with you. Um,
So
but are you the one? Okay, go ahead.
no, I was listening, but so was a little too loud. Sorry about that. As a root worker, um, no, I am not the only one in my family. I have a niece that she's no longer a minor, but she's also very private. But I have a
Mm-hmm.
niece, and she's almost a carbon copy of me, and it's a little bit intimidating. And she's incredibly way more powerful with her magic, with her gifts, and she's
Wow.
only 17. So, but she literally didn't have to shut part of her life off.
Yeah, and she had you to
We
be able to talk to
we
about
had an
it. Yeah.
encouraging father, an encouraging auntie, an encouraging family that was like, no, 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 grow, glow, unlearn, relearn, blah, 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 blah. So
Mm-hmm.
she got to fall down, scrape her knees, get up, try again, fall down, scrape. She got to, me, no, I didn't have that. Once my family realized I was different or weird, I was,
Yeah.
I, I
Well,
had to
yeah, a
learn
duck out
everything
to
on
the
my own.
family. Hmm.
Yep.
So it's nice that she has someone that she can go to and say, "Oh, I can talk to somebody about this. Can you help?" And that
hmm hmm
you can be there
Yep.
for each other. That's kind of wish I had had that. Uh,
I think that's why I made sure she had it, because I didn't. And I knew I could only imagine where I would have been at had I had a lifetime to practice, but I
mhm.
didn't. So, I shut it off at a young age, and I didn't turn it back on until it was forcefully thrown back into full effect, and I died twice and came back to life. And they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, there's no shutting it off this time." So,
Oh wow! So you had several NDEs.
yep, all in one day.
Now, do you think by having those, you, because I know some people will not have any gifts, or they will be so dormant that they don't appear until after they have a near death experience. Was that your case, or was it enhanced after your near death? Or
Well, TT, take the tears away because I wasn't talking about you. You're a blessing. I was talking about the other side that was shooting me down. I was
oh
talking about the bad side. Like I
oh
said,
yeah, oh believe me, she loves you. We were talking
I
backstage, and when
had
she
a lot
saw
of
that you
support
were
from you.
there.
I had a lot of support from you and Uncle John. Other than that, come on now, let's be realistic. Nobody else, nobody but my brother. So there it is. Sorry on the question. Could you repeat it? Short-term memory damage.
Oh no, here, let me just take down, because Holly Deshane came into chat, and she says, I've had my gifts my entire life and knew I was using them, but still very protective about who knows. Yeah, because there
Mm.
are times you have to be
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah. My
protective.
niece is that way. Me personally, I don't actually care, but I don't actually get a choice to care. Um. Oh, yeah. That's what it was. Thank you. Okay. So I saw dead people. I talked to dead people, and I helped dead people before any of the aneurysms, any of the flatline, comeback, two strokes, two hearted, before any of that. I was already talking to ghosts and seeing ghosts, and I had what they call premonition dreams. And when I shut all of that off, maybe 10 years of my life, so from the age of uh 17, 18 to however old I was in 2014. So there's like 20, almost 30 years there where I just did nothing. Like, I didn't want it. I didn't want no part of it. I was tired of being the weirdo. I was tired of being the freak. I was tired of being shunned by my family, friends, people that I'd known my whole life. And then when I died, it didn't intensify my gifts. It just showed me what I need to be expressing to people. Like, this has all been BS. You've lived your whole life BS. Now you need to do it the right way, and you need to talk about this. You need to talk about this, and you need to talk about this because you're on borrowed time. So give as much away as you can. So that's what it is. It's more about, I do my best to help people one on one. I try to keep it as positive and uplifted as I can. Um, and I speak to the subconscious. I speak to what they tell me to speak to, not what I feel I need to say. I repeat what they tell me.
Okay. And I think we were talking about this before backstage too, before we started. Now, you don't follow a particular religion at all,
No,
but are there any certain deities that you do find help you when you do your
I work
shadow
with a
to
lot of
help people?
immortals. I work with more immortals than I can keep track of.
Now, when you say immortals, I remember you talking about this once before. Immortals isn't like vampires. These are people that
No,
that you feel that have never had a human experience, have
no,
never
no, no,
walked a
no,
human.
no. You
Oh,
call them deities, gods, and demigods, and I just call them immortals. There's literally no difference. My immortals are Metatron is the same archangel that a lot of people work with. I work with Azazel. He prefers to be called immortal, but this is me. This is my experience with him. I have worked with demigods. I have worked with some of the more scarier ones. They don't prefer the word deity. Like, these human words that we
they
get
come
so
from us.
caught up on,
Hmm.
they're crowding me, so I get really hot. So I'm trying to like cool myself down. Um,
Hmm.
I try to use the words they use amongst themselves. I work with them 24/7. There's no such damn thing as free will when it comes to the point of where I'm at with them. Because if I'm sound asleep and they need me, they're going to wake me up. They're not going to give a damn about my boundaries. They're not going to care that it's 2 a.m. That none of that applies to them. That's just
Hmm.
human stuff. And in my world, I am their slave. That's how it is for me. I am their slave. I give their messages and I do what they tell me to do when they tell me to do it. I don't question it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I just kind of went when you said slave. I was just kind of like, mm.
But we all kind of are. I know that's a bad word for some people. Like I said, I realize that a lot of people get triggered by words so easily. But I grew
Mm-hmm.
up in the 70s and we weren't quite so triggered. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that that was a different way, or I'm not trying to say that I'm special or different, or I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that sometimes I have a lot of brain damage and the word I'm stuck on in my head,
Mm-hmm.
it's not intended to trigger, bother, or
Mm-hmm.
offend anybody. It's just the word I'm stuck on in my head because I've had so many aneurysms, I've had a lot of brain damage, and a whole bunch of brain surgeries. So sometimes my mechanic brain and my organic brain are sitting there going buffer, compute, because I'm stuck on a word.
Yes.
I need a new word, and it's like,
Kind of
I
makes sense
don't
to
know, use
me.
that
That's
one.
how sometimes I am when you're like you want to say something and you see that little spiral spinning like on our screens
Yep,
when we
yep.
disappear and we're buffering and I'm like, okay, dead silence, crickets, not even any crickets. It's just like, and I know people are in chat going, okay, yeah, Heather, hello. I'm just sitting there going, please, just give me a word. Why is
Yeah,
this
like
thing
any
not
word.
working?
Believe it or not, I work a lot on that every single day with myself. Like if I feel like it's a bad word or I feel like I'm stuck on it for too long, I'll go to people that understand my condition and I'll be like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
stuck on this word. And they'll be like, all right, let's find a new word. And we'll just literally find a new word for my brain to get stuck on.
I'm thinking when with the word slave, it's like I feel like there are times, and this is interesting because I know we have five people started for a reading, so I
Okay.
don't want to keep us too much longer. But um, it's one of I think it's more like being in service of. Do you feel like before you came to this into this earth walk that you had this what they call those soul contracts with these immortals, so that now that when they need you that's why they're there like no you need to wake up this is the time where you're like you were like pre agreed to be in service with them or for them or to help them. Do you think that would be because I don't know, do you think that's a fair analogy or comparison, or am I going way off?
um okay, so my guides want me to answer this question, but I am actually being told that I have to be very cautious with what I say here.
Okay, and you
There
this
are
is for
things that I
entertainment
know.
purposes only.
No. I understand, but there are things that I know because of where I've been on the other side about me that I know. This is strictly about me. I'm not talking about somebody else. I'm strictly talking
Mhm.
about me. Um, Before maybe 5 or 6 years ago, yes, I believe that. Yes, I know different now.
Mhm.
For me,
Okay.
I know different. So, because of what I am, not this energy in this earth human body. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what my soul is, what my energy is, and what I have been in every one of my prior walks.
Mhm.
This is literally the first time that I have been so low on the totem pole. And I'm learning a humble human, like tissue on the bottom of your shoe. I'm having to learn to humble myself because of
Yeah.
some of the positions I was in prior walks, and because I was not struggling in some of those like I do in this one. It's more along the lines of, for me, it's about a be still or be gone kind of situation. Like you're not going to go anywhere until you learn some humility and how to be humble. So,
That makes
life
sense.
has kicked me more times than I want to ever admit while I was down, stomped on me, stepped on me, and I still rose. So, I am learning this life path is much different than any and every one I've ever walked before.
This is why I love my viewers and my chatters. Hershey, we are open to hear you. It's all good. So we hold
I
a
can't.
space
I
open.
know, I know. And there's a lot
And
of times
being
I want
human is
to.
tough.
I literally, like, if they tell me no, and it's a no. And I'm not, I trust that whatever the process is of no, it's not for me. It's literally for you. Like, for whatever reason, you can't receive or hear the information. I already know the information. So if they're telling me no, it's not because of me. It's literally because either you're not ready or you think you are and you're not, or whatever the situation may be. I know I emphatically trust them without a doubt. I trust the dead over the living, and this is just me, and this is who I am.
Yeah. And Holly says it keeps you in the loop until you relent.
Pretty
So,
much.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, is there anything else you want to share before we go into questions? I mean,
No,
for cards.
no. If anybody has questions, obviously,
Oh,
I
well,
mean, I'm not good at, I'm
for
not an open
readings.
book, but I don't really know what to say.
Okay, well, our first reading up then, I should have said, readings. So today we are doing the message, well, the question that's scrolling at the bottom. So Book Bewitched said she would like one, and this is what message does my subconscious want me to know at this time? Especially going into, the fall season, into the winter. We're getting longer nights, shorter days, and so for me, a lot of people don't like this time of year. I thrive in it. I love it. I'm ready for it. So, um, yeah, this is perfect for me. And whenever you are ready, you let me know because I like to make sure that my guests go um, if they're ready first.
So, all right. Mm. Okay, so in your head, in that beautiful subconscious of yours, you are struggling with like control. There's literally something that you are forcing yourself to hold control over, and you have got to let it go. Literally, you have got to let it go. It is not serving you. You will not grow. There will be no growth from this control. The control is learning to let go of it. Because if you do not, you will not get to experience the rebirth that comes from letting go. Sometimes, as my grandfather would say, all money ain't good money. This is exactly that situation where you have to realize, do I want it or do I need it? And at this point, I have to say, this is not a need. This is something that you just want, and you want to be able to control it, and you just can't. So you have some shadow work to do, but until you are ready to literally let go of that little teeny weeny piece of control, it's not going to fall into place. It's not going to happen. But as soon as you do, though, it's literally going to happen. I would want to say instantly, but it's not, because that's not how control works. You understand what I'm saying? When we think we let go of something, then life throws something at us just to test us, to tempt us, to see, did you really let it go? Or are you going to try to pull that back just a little bit? So I see you going through not one, but 3 tests to make sure that you have officially, finally let it go. And it's at that point, feel free to literally dive in, grab you a journal, grab you a box of Kleenex, and go hard and don't stop. If you get stuck, do another primal release. Every time you get stuck, do a primal release. Do not let that shadow creep back in about control. But that is your first step, is learning to let go of your control, because you don't actually have it when it comes to subconscious shadow work. And that's what I got for you, bud.
Wow. All righty, here, let me fix this. So, Book Bewitched, let me just take your, so you can see this. I pulled Pertho, taking a chance. So you got your eye on something. You're focusing. You know where you need to go. And it's like you're going to be doing a lot of emotional work. I got hailstorm. So this could be well, this is probably internal that you have going on. And like Hershey said, grabbing that tissue box and getting it all out, like that primal scream. There you go. whatever it is, it's the time you start working on it, start working through it, letting it go. I did get the synergy card, and that's this is something that's going to go back and forth. You have to it's a connection that you need to make. It's like you've been like shutting one side of yourself off. This could be, and this could very well be your conscious and your subconscious coming together. And when they do, look at that beautiful bright light right there. And I did ask for a clarifier from my tarot, and I got Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is about coming in and cutting loose, cutting, things that no longer serve you. Just moving in, just going full force into doing it. It doesn't mean cutting this bond, but it means it's that energy that's going to come in and it's going to move fast. And part of the reason why maybe you're hesitant in moving forward, and a lot of us experience this, it's uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen, um, but you're still you're still standing, even though there's nothing beneath her feet. She still has that hand on her wall. She's still connected to the solid. She knows what she needs to do. And I wanted to pull another card too from the tarot for a clarifier, and I got another sword card. So this is a lot of mental work that you need to do. A lot of what's going on, self talk, talk that you've heard from the past from people. But this is beautiful. This Princess of Swords is that you have your grip now on what it is that you want to say, what you want to do, and you are ready to start exploring this new way of thinking, of moving forward. And that's where I will end for you. So thank you.
Sweet. I
Sweet.
like when they go hand in hand.
Me too. So I'm just going to go ahead and separate these cards. I'll let you get started. So let me, because I never know what cards are going to want, decks are going to be wanting to use. So next one up is Lindsay. Okay. So different deck for Lindsay.
Okay. So I feel like something was said out of haste. I really do. This Queen of Wands lets me know that this isn't your energy. This was spoke either on you or to you. This was spoke and it fell sideways. So sideways means that it was spoke on you in a negative way. It was spoke to you through, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these aren't your words. These are somebody else's words, and they hurt. They stabbed. They cut you. They ripped a part of you open that you did not see coming. It broke your balance. It broke your firepower. It broke your hindsight. And as they say, hindsight's 2020, right? Here's the problem. They think they broke you. No. See, what they did is they ran into your boundary walls. You see that? It's not in reverse for you. It's reverse for them. Why is it reverse for them? Because your shadow work doesn't have any blind spots. Your blind spots are right side up. You saw this coming. You kind of like gave them an inch and they took a mile. See, they cost themselves this situation because they couldn't keep their mouth shut. They had your name in their mouth way too much. This person ran into your boundary wall, and when they did, guess what happened? You got double protection. You got the clarity to know that absolutely it's cheaper for me to cut them off now by the grace of a couple of words than it is to go any farther down the road with you, and I have to literally like bink bink bink, and or something goes farther in an uglier situation, and this turns into something that I can cut off right now because I see you are not fooling me. So absolutely, on your shadow work, it looks like you are doing really good in your subconscious. You have a very clear path between your conscious and your subconscious, and you are constantly clearing those shadows out. Whether they creep in every day or every 2 days, once a week, bi-monthly, it doesn't matter because you are a well-greased machine when it comes to that subconscious shadow work, and you are clearing them traumas out. I don't see any childhood traumatic stuff that is creeping in yet, because you have those boundaries up, and because you have them boundaries up, you are protected and blessed on levels that others cannot understand. So keep doing what you're doing. It's looking really good. And just know that the person that's speaking ill on you, they literally talk their way out of your life, not the other way around. You don't have to explain that to anybody. Let their negative actions follow them, and you keep going positively where you're going, babe. And that's what I got for you.
Nice. She said yes.
Good.
She doesn't. When she says yes, she gets it. So
Good.
alrighty. And just so that you know, Book Bewitched said, "Wow, wow, exact hit." With her reading that was before. So I just wanted to make sure that you got or got the confirmation. So okay, Lindsay. They opened the book and you closed it. Chapter one, the end. There was, whatever it was the opening, the beginning of one chapter. Like she said, something must have happened. And I'm looking at the cards. Yes. So they try writing that chapter one, open a book, and you said, no, the end. You closed it. Now, the next card I got the lust card. And now here I'm going to let, like, oh, this has got to be something sexual or intimate, but not necessarily. Lust can be things for lust of, for me, this card feels very, at least in this deck, I kind of equate it with the devil card, because the devil is all about, what is it that you desire? Not that desire is bad, but this is kind of like to the point where, it was a lust for, um how do I put this into words? It's like they were just lusting after what it is that you had. They wanted what the love, the light they saw from you, the power that they feel from you. It was just like they lusted for, they like to lust over power over others. They like to be the ones to manipulate, to control, to feel whatever they get off on, my language, um, and being control over. And I asked for a couple clarifiers, but I got to, so without going into, and they didn't want to. They said just, give her these cards and she'll understand. So even if there wasn't some sort of understanding, meditation. So if this card wasn't too clear, meditate on it. You'll know what it is. And this has been going on in cycles. So this has been an ongoing process where, they come around, they go around, they come around, they go around. And finally, with this here, focusing on that light, you see the light of the moon, the intuition, you know exactly what it is. And yeah, they try pulling up chaos, they try to tear things up, but instead, I got the risk card as a final, and that risk card isn't something that's bad. You took, it wasn't necessarily a risk. It's kind of like the fool card too, but you're just on that edge. You're letting it go. You're trusting. Your heart's wide open, and you know that you're not going to fall, and you're moving forward. And so, I hope that helps, Lindsay. So let's see. She was
Nick said
putting.
that way better than I ever could have. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We all say it in different ways. So very
Your
true.
deck, the goddess Nyx. I love that deck.
Also, you know this. I
Oh, I
lost the
know it
book
well. I
to
work
it.
with Nyx all the time.
So for people who don't know, this is a deck by Colette Baron Reed. She worked with PC Cast, and I guess PC Cast did a book series on vampire teenage witches, which
Yep.
I didn't know when I got the deck because I just loved the artwork.
Uh huh.
And so I lost the book a while back, but the artwork on some of these cards are just stunning. So
Oh yeah.
I love them.
I so love that
Nailed
deck.
it. And she says thank you. So you are welcome, my dear. Um, Alrighty. Next one up is Spirit Tribe Talks with Deborah. And I'll be right back. I'm going to just
Please
grab
be
some
trying
Sip
to
Sip.
trick me. Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay, Titi. Oh boy. Okay, look. The the word I'm looking for, the vulnerability that you have. Um, Subconsciously, you are a control freak. It's in your nation. That's not necessarily bad, except for the fact when it comes to you and your own authenticity. You really need to love on you 5 minutes every single day, no matter what. I don't care if you're picking your toes, if you're filing your nails, if you're curling your hair, picking your eyebrows, shaping them, going for a walk. No, 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 walk. This is TT. So listen, you go sit outside in the backyard. TT, you need to take 5 minutes for yourself every single day. Selfishly, go back 2 years to 2021 when you took the whole year to yourself. That mentality needs to come out right now. Why does that need to come out right now? Because your judgment is in reverse. But I don't believe this is your energy. Why is that? Because your queen is upright. Your firepower, you're standing in your authenticity consciously. You're just not doing it subconsciously. Subconsciously, there are a few things that need to have a higher truth found out. Now, I know that you work your shadow hard. I know that you do every single week. You take time for yourself, but you have hit a spot in your shadow work that you need to not you need to not you need to literally go find that higher truth because you're being judgmental on yourself. You're thinking that I can't think this about this person, or I can't think this about this is what happened. No, you have got to take the absolute truth for what it is at that exact moment. But when you do, take them 5 minutes that you're saving up, literally for right then and there. Ground yourself. Listen to that truth. Accept it, swallow it, chew it, whatever you have to do to get it down into your core, because that truth alone is going to literally have you rejoicing once the grief, once the hurt, once the pain, once it is all done and over with, as uncomfortable as it is, because it's not all yours. Only your ownership is all you need to work on. Once you get that, give the rest of it away. It's not yours. Let it go. This is not your place. This is not your space. I set you free. Literally, get rid of it, and you'll get your authenticity back. And you will stop seeing yourself as easily pushed over or easily persuaded. No, absolutely not. That's not happening, because this is 2023 and it's okay to be selfish. So, absolutely take this time to find that higher truth, swallow it, move on, and then watch how you literally find joy in yourself for finding that higher truth. And that's what I got for you, TT.
Wow. And she says, I know, working on it. So,
I'm so sorry. Don't do that, TT.
so Deborah, wow. When you said, when Hershey started saying you need to love up on yourself, I was just sitting here going, unbelievable. Yeah, love up on yourself. Give yourself that love. This is the page of Pentacles in this deck. And I love that the pages, are, looking at, they have, they're excited. They have the knowledge of, of the pentacle, which is, wanting security, wanting um, stability, wanting to be connected, wanting to manifest. And in this picture, I just love it because they're acknowledging that they want to be connected to Earth. I feel like too with this is that you are very much a part of nature, that you find a lot of peace, a lot of love from animals being out in nature. So yes, love yourself, love up on yourself. Um, you're working on that sense of security, and not just, people think, when you say security, abundance, prosperity has to do necessarily with money. and it can, but it could also represent that solidity, that groundedness that we need, in ourselves spiritually, emotionally, mentally, the whole nine yards. And so I wanted to pull a couple cards on that, and one flew out, which was interesting. And I got the King of Swords, excuse me. And the King of Swords is, usually somebody who is very, you know, very analytical, very practical, straightforward. But for me, I was feeling like in this card that this could maybe be somebody who might be a little too over, um, analytical, not analytical, but because of their intellect or their knowledge or what they believe, it can sometimes be a bit too much. um it could be like someone really saying, and I feel like this could very possibly be a male um in your life, because it came out before the three other clarifiers. So I'm feeling like this, I mean, this could very well be you, but I'm just feeling like, you know, the male being looking over, being very watchful. Kind of, you almost feel like you can't be that nurturing, exploring, and you can, because before I get into those other three cards, I did get, you know, the Ten of Cups, how beautiful, celebration, love, the loving of
Mm.
family. I also got the Ten of Pentacles. Oh my God, there's that security, there's that stability, there's that groundedness, that connection that you're working on. And to achieve all that, you're going to be needing to do the Hermit, going within, like you said, taking time to yourself, going and doing a lot of me time. Oh, and it just doesn't end there with that one, because when he came out, I still wanted a few more cards for the page, and I got the Four of Swords, taking a rest, taking a break. Maybe even with a horse rearing up, maybe the horse represents freedom, movement, travel. So, and horse is also connected with the fire sign of Sagittarius, like me. And then that's, being very creative, being very fiery, just exploring, traveling, finding out who you are. Because you are working towards, you are working towards this, and you are going to create it. I mean, you can't get, any more, confirmation and completion, all these beautiful cards. But what I do really want to point out is the Seven of Swords. So this is take for a lot of people. This is like the Thief card, and it could be maybe someone taking away things that you feel keep you grounded, and feel connected to who you are and what you think and what you believe. But in this case, though, I feel like that's you taking what you know is what you believe, what you will accept, what you will no longer hear from what you will not hear from anybody else, and taking those positive thoughts and leaving those ones behind and moving forward. So this card came out for the page, and with the Four of Swords and the King. So it's, yeah, that's it. Okay. I feel like this individual right here, and I do feel like it's a male. If I'm wrong, maybe Hershey can let me know later on. But I feel like he may have been trying to take mentally things that you believe in, things that you felt were true for yourself. The word gaslighting just popped in my head. I don't know why. It just seems like a lot of people are doing that to people nowadays. But whatever you feel like he might be seeing, whether this is an actual person or this is something else that was put in your head that is a thought, don't let that steal that peace from you. Rest, go within, nurture yourself, and you've got all this. I mean, this is beautiful, and that's where I'll end.
May I
I
ask
hope
what
that
deck
wasn't
is
too
that?
long. It wasn't until sometimes after I started talking, then I'm like, oh, that's what that card. So sometimes others a little slow to the picnic.
What
So
what deck was that? Real quick, just real quick. What deck was that?
this is the um, Mystic Palette Tarot, the Muted by Ciro Marchetti. It's going to be available for mass market in, I think, March. But if you go to his website, you can get it now. And when you do, you get a signed autograph card.
Say less. Okay.
They're not cheap, though, and you don't get a booklet.
Oh, I know. Oh, I already understand Cheryl Marchetti. I bought one of his decks. authentically, and I've only bought one, and it wasn't for me, but don't I know it?
But I was like, I don't really need the book. I go, I have a couple, good tarot books that,
Absolutely.
So we are at
Absolutely.
4:55, and we still have KK, Lisa, Holly, Rossi, and Book. No, oh no, we already did Book Bewitched. Let me take that up. So are you still good,
I'm
Hershey? We
I'm
got four more.
absolutely I'm perfect.
Okay. All righty. Because I didn't know what your time, what your energy, and what your time. And hello, Fatima. Welcome, my dear. It's good to see you. So here, let me put that back up there. Sometimes I do that. I forget to put it back. So this is Kari. This is KK. Oh, Kari, what card see? Do 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 do. Ching.
Mm.
That will be my phone.
Oh, hey, hey.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, how interesting.
Mm.
Listen to me and you go, interesting.
Mm.
Exactly.
Okay. So, mm, mm. Okay. So I
Oh, Carrie.
my guides like to sing. My guides get stuck on songs, and it's not the whole song, but there's like specific parts of the song. And so there's a song that's very old. Um is it's country, isn't it? Yeah, it's also country. Okay, so I have a wide genre of music in my head because of my background. But in that genre is also some country. And there's a song, and I can't tell you the artist. I can tell you that it's old, and it says something about every light in the house is on in case you ever want to come back home. Okay, so why is that playing in my head? Hmm, let me find out. So there's something that they're trying to get you to recognize. It's a moral, it's a value, it's something that was embedded in you as a child. You learned it, you experienced it, you lived it, you grew it. You possibly passed it to nieces, nephews, children's, the neighbor's kid, the school bus kids, the teacher's classroom, the somewhere you've passed it on. You have you have let people know my phone is always on, my light is always on. So, like, you're always available to people. So, here's where the problem is that while you're doing that, you're not recognizing your potential for yourself. You're not turning the light on for yourself. You're not giving yourself the same benefit that you're giving to Tom, Dick, and Harry down the road. You are literally chastising yourself. You are saying, I should have knew better. Well, how? How would you have known better? You know forced thoughts. You know what somebody else programmed into your body at a wee little age, at a medium sized age, or teaching an old dog new tricks. Well, here's where we're at. I am living proof that old dogs can learn new tricks. You're going to learn a new trick. You're going to learn how to see yourself as the lamp for yourself. In your head, I want you to turn off everybody's light but yours. I want you to hurt everybody's feelings but yours. I want you to disrespect everybody but yourself. I want you to stand up for yourself and sit down for the next person. Let them come stand for themselves. They're going to have to learn how to do it. So, with you wanting this much and needing this much to always constantly have a light on for somebody else, here's where our growth comes. You have been planting seeds your entire life. You have been speaking those seeds into existence. You are metastasizing those seeds to become the ignition that is the message that is needed for everybody that was witness to your flame, to your light. You now have the ability to be this King of Swords. This is what they want you to become. And in order to do that, you're going to have to start scrying. You are going to have to literally return the energy that's not yours. It's not yours. Bye. See ya. Love you, but you gotta go. I want you, but just not in my house. You can eat, just not at my table. That is not bad things. Those are not selfish things to say. They might sound very harsh, but I guarantee you that everything is filled with a blessing, and that blessing is full of hope and love and light. And there is no better form than you in raring full form. And in order to do that, you need to shut off everybody's light but yours. So I hope that this wasn't so hard on you, because there is a strength within you that's literally in your bones. Other people can't have. That's why they come to you. But you need to let the energy vampires go.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to soak in your own, because this is that time of year where you need to get ready for third harvest. You need to get ready to plant more seeds. You need to get ready to stock up. You need to prep for the next season of you, not the next seasons of the days of our lives, because that show is never going to end. So take this time, the rest of this year, make promises to only yourself, and promisely make next year way better than this year has been so far. And that's what I got for you, babe.
Wow. And it's not Kari, it's Carrie. That's how you pronounce it. So my
Sorry about
apologies, my dear. But she said, I just said that today. Old dogs do learn new tricks.
I
Yes, I do
was
need to
wondering, like, why are you
focus.
saying that? They're like, just say it. And I'm like, okay, okay.
And yes, I do need to focus on myself and not care who I let down. So wonderful. And I just want to share something else too, because it makes sense also with the card. I got Lori said, "Wow, the full moon on Friday will gladly take everything we no longer need. Perfect timing for letting go. Love this message." And it's like, where do I start? So I'm going to just. Did you all just say there's going to be a full moon this week? So full moon, and they're like, "Ooh, black cat," but oh, everybody knows my Mozzie. So, the cats, the full moon, shining that light on your independent. I mean, for me, cats are very independent. They are very connected to Earth. It doesn't matter if they're black, gray, orange, tabby, whatever. They are extremely spiritually connected, very intelligent, very independent. I mean, Freya's got a whole bunch of them pulling her chariot. So, you got your kitties. That full moon, listening to your intuition, honoring your intuition, having self-worth, and those fragments that you feel like you have of yourself, start pulling them in. You are no longer fragmented. And with this light, I like what the moon is, you look at those fragments and you bring those in together and you reconstitute who you are. And I cannot make this up. Check this out. Three of Swords, going going through some sorrows. However,
Mm,
Three of Cups,
mm.
you're working through those. You're celebrating becoming who you are, because with that one, this is already past. This is time to move on. You've learned the lesson, that completion has come through. Now you're completing the celebration. Oh, and it gets better. Three of Pentacles, three threes. So working with yourself, and I feel like there may be people in your circle, maybe us fellow readers and chatters who support and guide one another. But I'm feeling like this is also your guides, also guiding you, your higher self, your higher power, whatever it is that you connect with, working together, and doing that. You're creating a new, beautiful foundation. You're creating your own temple. You are your temple. You are creating your sanctuary, your space. It's going to take some time. King of Pentacles is something that you don't want to rush because you're going to be working through a lot of things. You got a lot of emotional things to work through, especially with the fragments and the Three of Swords. However, when you do take the time, like the King of Pentacles, slowly creating that beautiful foundation, building that up, getting grounded, start looking around, appreciating who you are, what you have, what you're grateful for, what you are thankful for having, especially in Thanksgiving coming up in this season, the harvesting, being grateful for what we have. And when you create all that, you will get a new perspective. I got the Hangman. So you will have that beautiful perspective, and people will see this new perspective of you as well. They're going to be like, they'll think twice because you'll already be establishing that foundation. It's a boundary. If a door, it's a gateway. You can knock, but doesn't mean like Hershey said, they can knock, but you don't have to let them in. But just know that by doing all this, you'll gain a whole new perspective of yourself. So will people get a new perspective of you. But like I said again, starting this full moon, start working through that. And that's what I got.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Rossi looks like my baby. Looks like my baby too. Amazing. Just divine timing with the moon card.
Love familiars.
And Carrie says she's a life path number 3.
Ooh.
And I just got 3.
3. Hi, oil painter.
Hi, Diana. How are you? Let's see.
Hello.
Thank you so very much. You're welcome, sweetheart. She says, I've been on a journey to my door. I saw it in a dream a few years ago. Well, there's your door. This door is red in my dream. My vision for my studio, it's purple. It's a nice dark purple. So we all have a special color of our door. Wonderful. Oh, I'm just loving this. Thank you again, Hershe, for joining me.
You're welcome.
This.
You're welcome. I'm over here like eating your decks up like, ooh, that's a pretty deck.
And I'm actually going to be gifted a couple, and it's just like
where's the giveaway? I am great at giveaway.
No, you can't have
I'm gonna be there.
So next up is Lisa. I want a studio as well. Want to split the rent? Well, only if you're in Niagara Falls. But yeah, rent space is ridiculous. And Deborah says us two are in sync. I love it. I just love how Hershe really delivers. That's where I want to get, where I can really hear the guides very clearly. And you know what I mean? I'm getting there. I'm trusting more. So, yeah, I'm having a blast. And that's how we learn. We learn from each other. How one person reads may not always, but there might be something we take and we learn from them, and we develop and we grow into our own selves. So that's why I love having people join me, because I like seeing the different the different facets, like a crystal. And Rossi and Rosanna said, looks like Hershe's going shopping. Huh? I'll put Lisa back up there.
All right. We are doing Lisa.
Okay. Lisa.
Okay.
Oh. Sorry.
Seriously? Am I starting there? Okay. I have to be, right? It wouldn't make sense to start right. Okay. All right. So, I'm a moon child. I'm sure you have been in enough chats with me that you already understand this and So when I get the ass backwards, I understand that they want it reversed. So I'm going into your subconscious, but I'm literally just going to gradually touch the surface because they literally want me to be on the elevator and drop all the way down to your root. There is absolutely something that they are detrimentally trying to get you to understand. And they have sent you a gazillion synchronicities. Now, I do not believe in what's that famous word? What a coincidence.
Nope, no such thing as a coinky dink.
Yeah, there's really no such thing. So, they are a little bit upset with you because you have missed every single message they have sent to you.
Ooh, I like that deck.
Or you're not missing it, but you're making it go to where you want it to be. That's not how messages work. That's not how working with the spiritual world and realms that I work in, I don't get to pick and choose. I don't get to pick and choose the immortal I work with. I don't get to pick and choose the ghost I work with. I don't get to pick and choose the dark objects that are calling to me. I don't get to pick what needs to be neutralized. I do as I'm told. That doesn't work for everybody. Everybody hasn't had the depth of you think you're in control, and they prove to me that I am in no control. So here's what you need to understand. You have missed every single synchronicity. You missed the light after the darkness, and you also missed the seeing and the action. So you are putting it in a place that is in a conscious realm of where you want it. This ain't about what you want. This is about what you need. And unfortunately, they're about to give you exactly what you need. And it may not be what you are ready for, but you don't have a choice because life itself is the best teacher. And they are here to let you know that this guilt that you're carrying around, minimize it immediately. If you do not, your self-respect is never going to reflect a person worthy of what's to come if you can't subconsciously forget that what you learned was wrong in the first place, or how you learned it was wrong in the first place. And life itself has proven to you time and time and time again. So now they are literally telling you, this is literally your last synchronicity. This is your last sign. This is your last everything. You're on your own for subconscious shadow work if you do not start at the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is your level of guilt. And if you do not learn to minimize that and carry only your actions, you are going to be carrying around everybody's weight, and nobody's going to have to do their own work. But guess who else doesn't get to do their own work? You. You don't get to brainstorm. You don't get to come together with a Three of Cups. To me, a Three of Cups, this is about brainstorming. This is collaborations. This is like-minded individuals coming together to birth, celebrate, collaborate. Yours is in reverse, babe. It's not going to happen. You will not have that celebration as an authentic, genuine celebration that it is, because until you subconsciously remove that guilt, you're going to carry that continuously into your present. And people that are innocently not evolved or involved with what caused you to get that way are going to continue to catch the hell that they don't deserve, because it deserves to go back to the person that dished it out in the first place, and it wasn't you. But you carry it and you represent it, but that's not yours. So let it go. If not, your chariot is not going to be right, and you are literally going to be stuck. This was not reversed. This was upright. You're going to be stuck in a place that you don't want to be. Everybody else, do you see? This is how you see you right now. But you don't see that everybody else sees you like this, standing upright with your head tall and standing strong. But you can't see yourself this way because this is where your guilt has you. So please, 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 no matter what you have to do, if you have to hit your knees, if you're religious, or if you have to grab a cauldron and a widget and a fidget stick, whatever you have to do, get rid of that guilt, minimize it immediately. The messages are there, the signs are there, the time was yesterday. And that's what I got for you, babe. I really hope that you can find somewhere to put that guilt because it's not yours. So stop carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
I got, babe.
Wow. And really quick, Gerald has joined us. Hello, Mr. Tarot Stash. And he says, I love reading with other readers too. Because Deborah said, I love to read with other folks, opens my mind. Yes, it does. And it helps us take what we learn from other people and can apply that to our cards, or we'll know that we'll have that additional knowledge when maybe the traditional isn't necessarily there. And then we'll be like, oh, and it'll click.
Mm-hmm.
The light will click on.
Yep.
So Lisa, pretty much what she just said. I mean, first card I got is you really need to start anew. You need to start walking, leaving the past behind, and moving towards a new future for yourself. Start walking towards that light. Something did happen. There was a cataclysm. Something very traumatic happened for you, and with the hand being closed over the mouth, or that it was like you were told not to say anything, you were told not to see. Something really affected you. um that is what's connected. I also got the connection card in the self. So like with her, what Hershey was saying, you were given chances to see what was going on, but you kept turning away, not wanting to face. And I also got the two crows as well. So this is something to do with the self. You really need to work on it, because you know how you have that where you're stuck. You had your head dropped. I got frozen. It's like you've been frozen in place. You feel like you can't move, um, but you need to address your and face your demons. Whatever this cataclysm is, it has really created some very deep, dark demons within you. And demons doesn't always mean like the ones like you see in the movies, but these are the things that that stick with us, the voices that we can't get rid of, the things that we experience physically, spiritually, mentally, whatever this cataclysm was that created these demons. You have to let them go. You need to make the connections, and you know what they are. You need to stop looking away from it. You have to. I don't know what's keeping you frozen. I know facing demons are very scary. There are some that I know that I need to face, especially when it comes to my mother, who's in on the other side. But right now, I know that I'm not in the place for that yet, because I need to be in a different place. So right now, I'm frozen too. But the good thing with this card, and what's this Friday? There's a full moon this Friday. The right path. So you started with a very beautiful, positive card. Start anew. Work through what you have to. I mean, for me, a lot of this card says so much. I can feel. I mean, it's heavy stuff. And if I'm wrong, you know, I apologize. But I just feel like there is a lot of something very heavy and traumatic that caused those demons that are keeping you frozen in place and not being able to move forward. This Friday, start working with that full moon and start shedding light on those areas in that shadow,
Mm-hmm.
and start facing those. And I'll end it there.
Wow. Wow.
When you're talking and I'm looking down at that demon card, I was like, oh boy, there's some, and that cataclysm. I mean, Kristen Louise really did an amazing job with this deck. I mean, some of those
That deck is
images.
breathtaking. And whoever said I'm shopping, I am. I'm literally over here and like, oh, like every deck is just like screaming at me. And I'm like,
Yeah, the
yeah.
star
Are
rune
you sure
is
you're not
Kristen.
a subconscious reader?
Yeah.
You sure got a lot of decks that are reaching the subconscious. So
So
Absolutely. Love
hopefully
it, love it, love it.
that helped you. So next up is Holly.
Holly, lover.
Ooh, okay. You ever look over and go, okay, which deck? And it's just like, whoa, and it yells at you. You don't necessarily hear a word. You just hear, you know.
I had this my one of my peeps over here has fallen in love with something that you have already showed off, and they're over here going, you could pair it with that one and that one and that one and that one. We should just add it to the cart. And I'm like,
This one?
I have never ever been attracted to a Marchetti deck. Ever. Ever. I have never been attracted to one, but it's like, wait, what?
I thought I
What is
was
going
because I had
on?
had some in the past, and I'm like, oh, there's only really all of his. There's another one that he put together on his, and it's called the Encore, which is like cards from other decks to
Tears and
create one
tingle.
deck, and I'm like, oh no. I mean, those aren't cheap. That one was $50, so I
Yeah,
really had to save up for that because I won't do bootlegs or, you know, illegal. I mean, I won't go down that rabbit hole right now.
right.
So the energy that I get and I connect with those cars is just unbelievable.
Yep. Eventually, I will have my very own Marchetti, but I have been hunting for years and I've never found one that just was like me, and then I'm sitting here like I've never seen that.
Exactly. That happened to
What
me
is
with
going on?
Ginger. Ginger Faye was using this for one of her lives, and I don't know if it was with me. And I said, oh, "What is that deck?"
Well,
Especially with
like
the
I'm over
Two of
here like
Swords.
breathless, like stop! What is that?
I was like, "Well, you can either
my
save
TT
money and
vibes are
wait till
coming out.
March, or you can go to his website and get it now and not save money."
Right, right. I'll wait till it's mass market. That don't bother me at all. I have my plethora of indies.
Yeah.
I'm good on that. I just want my very first Chiro Marchetti, and I'm like, oh my god, I've resonated with one. That's just something for me. That's wonderful.
And in the spirit of Gerald, seeing that he's in our chat, purchase responsibly, know your limits, which other sometimes doesn't. But she's gotten better. And that one was definite. I mean, I resonate the strongest with that deck, I think, out of most of them. But
If I
they're
have
all my
$10
kids.
now at the end of the month, it's because Gerald has taught me to shop responsibly,
There you
purchase
go.
responsibly. I'm sorry.
Purchase responsibly, know your limits. Okay, so Holly, what does my message? Oh, sorry. Let me mute myself.
Oh,
Wow. Holly, what the hell is going on, girlfriend?
So you said this is like a personal friend of yours, right?
No, that was Lindsay.
Oh, Lindsay. Um, I was actually gonna like, okay, then I'm just gonna bow out gracefully and let you take it. Oh, but this is why I'm the shadow reader. Okay, so look here. All right. I believe I recognize this. Oh, okay. So, okay, here's what I don't recognize. The fact that you stopped. Why don't I recognize it? Because I didn't stop. I didn't stop doing bad behaviors at an appropriate time in my life. Excuse me. So, because I didn't do it, I don't recognize this kind of behavior. Kudos to you, but, okay? Consciously, you would be the one that, you make it look real easy. Well, that's because you do a lot of work. So your acceptance, your adaptation of life is more along the lines of I saw that dumb fuckery coming a mile. Oh, sorry, language. I saw that coming a mile away. And because of that, your spider senses, your witchy senses, your cognitive knowing also taught you at a very young age that consequences and actions be damned, because I make the wrong choice, I have to pay the consequences. You were not one that was easily fooled, manipulated, and swayed, connived, or manipulated into doing unless you truly wanted to do it. And see, this is something else that I'm not actually sure, because I didn't resonate with it and I didn't recognize it, because I didn't always have a choice when I was forced to make the choices that I made in life. You have broke cycles. You have broke addictions. You stopped breaking soul contracts long before this walk, this life path had even started. You started on a clean slate, so to speak. You didn't have the generational curses going, because the generation before you recognized it and started breaking that. And because of that, the witch in you, the honoring part of you that recognizes every part of life. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just saw that artwork and I was like, oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, the darkness that resides within you. And okay, so to me, to say dark is like saying that you're full of love and light and hope and blessings. Okay. So I literally am not saying dark arts, evil, none of that. I'm saying that the darkness, the shadow, the cooling aspect, the comforting shade that you have gotten comfortable within yourself about has made you a person that can come and balance out those that are not so balanced. I don't know if you work with the dead. I don't know if you yourself are a root worker, but for Santa Marte to be popping up saying this woman's halo is bright, that's saying something, okay? That is telling me that this is the worst card in the whole damn deck. Three of Swords. Hands down, I tell any and everybody, I don't care what deck you're playing with, the Three of Swords, in my opinion, that's the worst card in the damn deck. Yours is in reverse. Guess what you're not dealing with? You're not dealing with somebody sticking a dagger in your back. You're not worried about a snake crossing your path. You're not worried about somebody putting something on you and adding to your turmoil. You have not that worry. You have gained your self-respect because you walk a very, very distinguished line. You clearly know right from wrong, left from right, up from down, so mote it be, so within, so without. It is a part of your biome. You have a rebirth inside of you that comes naturally. It just comes. It's effortlessly. You literally make this rebirth. This is like taking a shower. This is something that comes very natural to you. So I feel like you have a little bit of root work going on up inside of you, and that maybe you have had enough life experiences where you could guide somebody on a very slippery slope to a safe landing. It might not be able to see that landing because of the hidden blockages of somebody else's forced thoughts. So everything that you're doing to stay on top of you, hey girl, hey, keep going, keep doing it. You are in a great spot. And that's what I got for you, babe.
Wow, because I got some really interesting cards. And Holly said, I have lung cancer and I haven't stopped smoking. I feel it's my own fault. She says, I'm a healer, but I can't heal myself. I know exactly
Yeah.
what that
If we're gonna
that's.
compare, I have a medical history that's as long as my arm, and I still every single day I find something in every negative to turn around into a positive. And that's exactly what I just saw. Conscious people cannot do that. They think consciously all the time. Subconscious thinkers turn the negative into a positive. So you have that. You have that.
So Holly, one of the cards that flew right out when I started shuffling was the Ten of Pentacles, and it's wealth. And I'm feeling like this is a wealth of knowledge. And the reason why and I'll get to that. The next that card came up is I got the Eight of Swords, and what you shared makes perfect sense. You have the ability, you have the knowledge to free yourself from these bonds. The swords aren't wrapped around you; they're not blocking your way, and you're not tightly bound. So you have that Eight of Swords mentality of the, I don't know, being the victim, being victimized, but you have all the knowledge that you know that you need to move to unrelease yourself, to free yourself. Now I usually don't read reversals, but this King of Swords came in reversed. And I looked at the book for this particular deck, and what really struck me was they how do I say this? I know that these are supposed to. The book said that these are a teacher, and I think this what makes sense is that you are a healer, but you cannot heal yourself. You are a teacher, but you can't learn for also, like you said, needing to stop smoking. You have the knowledge. You are a great teacher, but at the same time, we can't seem to bestow that knowledge on ourselves. So I feel like that might be why he came up in reverse. And in this book too, it said because this is the Heaven and Earth tarot, and falling on deaf ears. So things that you know, sorry about that if you heard that, things that you know that you need to do are falling on deaf ears. And then I got the devil. There is the addiction part. And I think too that's not just with the smoking, but buying into with the health is that we're really buying, like Hershey said, into everything that we feel that is dark, that's wrong with what we do. We try looking at helping other people, hoping that helps us, and it does, but without really working at the root, excuse the term, but working at the root cause. And there are a lot of things mentally addictive, spiritually addictive, physically physically addictive, that needs to be addressed. um, and again, another one with bondage. The chains are loose. They can take off at any time. Um, you have, and the good thing is that you have the power to do that. Look at that Queen of Wands. She's on fire. She's sitting in her throne. She's standing upright. I mean, she's sitting upright. Um, her beautiful black cat is right there. Her familiar, and she's holding that staff, and she's looking right at you, and that fire's at her feet, basically lighting your ass on fire. You got to get going. You got to do the things that you know you need to do. And the fire too at the feet, the root chakra, that's the catalyst. Get things going, get things moving. You have a lot of energy, a lot of creative energy. You said you're a healer. Start using that energy to start moving forward. And you know how you got the death and rebirth card? My last card was the death card. So if this is a time of death and rebirth, especially moving into, you know, the season where, the veils are the thinnest. This is really where you need to connect again with what it is that you need to release in this card right here. You got to get yourself out of the mentality that I can't do this, that I can't, I'm not able to move forward, but you can. Just remember that. There's that queen of that's that creativity. You know how to use it, you know how to utilize that energy. And then the rebirth card. And you got that wealth of knowledge, and that wealth card carries all the way through because you know exactly what it is. You have the tools, You know,
Mhm.
it's right there. It's like the magician having everything on the table that they need. They know how to use it. They know how, you know, the power behind them, and they have the ability to manipulate to create that desired outcome, that rebirth. And that's where I'll stop. And hi, Joan B. It's been a while. I saw you pop in. I think a lot of us do. Really. I mean, it's always so much easier for us to be able to, you know, help people, but when it comes to us, it's just kind of like, for me at least, I can speak, I kind of bang my head into a wall with some things. You know, it's just really a struggle, you know.
So the comment that Lise made about
Right here.
struggling to express herself,
Oh yeah.
that right there, what I would be if you and I were just talking and we were just one on one and there was nobody else here, I would stop you right then and there and I would absolutely tell you what's the positive to that. It's not a band aid. There's no such thing as putting a band aid over a shadow. There's not a big enough band aid. There's not a big enough blanket to cover a whole shadow. I don't care how big that blanket is. That shadow is never going to be able to be covered. What you have to do is literally take the ownership, yours and yours alone. And when you do, it's at that moment that the positive emerges. It was always there. It was overlooked. It was buried. It was under. It was to the left. It was to the right. It was there the whole time. It was overlooked. All you have to do is go back to the exact point where your ownership began. From that point on, there's your positive. You may not see it as a positive until you take your ownership. Once your ownership is taken, that positive becomes the beacon, the lighthouse in the sea during the storm. You find that positive, and it may be as small as a grain of sand, but it has more relevance than the Eiffel Tower at that moment in your life. But I guarantee you that positive is there. You just have to find it.
Beautiful. Mic drop.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. Stop saying it's not there because it's absolutely there. It's been overlooked for so long. People just assume because they stepped over the crack that the crack wasn't there. The crack was there the whole time. You just been overstepping it your whole life. You have to go back and now you have to acknowledge it, take ownership, and then watch it instantly turn into a positive. You no longer have that pain. You're using that pain, and that pain is no longer using you.
There you go. Thank you. And Holly the Shade said, "Thank you, ladies." So she thanked us for that
You're
last
welcome.
reading.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And so quick hello to Corey. Welcome. Amanda Carroll, walk listening. Thank you. And Joan B, yes, small amounts of positive energy brings more positive. It's like a ripple effect. It just
Ooh, you
keeps
couldn't
going
have said
on
it
and
better.
on. Yep. So, and I like what Rossi said to Rosanna: transmutation from negative to light. That's very insightful. I love
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep.
So our last read, speaking of Rossi, Rosanna, is Rosanna.
Hello.
Rosanna, Rosanna. Never thought that a girl
It's so
like you
familiar.
could feel.
Don't please don't start. Don't start.
Rosanna. Oh, sorry. I can't hear a guy. Hey, karaoke with the guides. That would be a fun show, wouldn't it? Karaoke with our
Well, as
spirit
long as you
guides.
can like keep up, because they will switch up real quick.
Oh, I know a lot of
As
different
soon as I
people.
start singing along, they switch up. I'm like, wait, I just got the hook. Where you going?
Oh, me, I love music.
I do too. I do too. I do too.
Alrighty.
I'm a
So,
Gemini too. Well, hello, my fellow Gemini. First, second, or third?
okay, Rossi, Rosanna. Oh, interesting. Diana said a paradox will create a miracle. There's some food for thought.
Okay, Odin.
Everybody dropping their knowledge.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Huh.
Oof.
Okay.
Ooh. Mm.
Nice.
Ollie says her birthday is June 18th.
Ooh, she's a third. She's a third. She's a third. Okay.
Slowly learning astrology.
Okay.
Very slowly.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I've read for Rossi more than once or twice. And the first thing I want to say is you don't quit. You don't quit. And that's admirable. Um the path that you are actually looking for to reach into your subconscious is not, it's not going to be quite as easy, um because, and it's not that it's impossible, because it's absolutely not impossible. It's very possible. But but I'm going to kind of jump around here, but first you need to understand that until you're actually willing to make that sacrifice, and the Odin card popped up. If you don't know what the Odin card is, that is also known as the Hangman. You have to willingly make a sacrifice. And then once you make that sacrifice, you have to stay there. You have to. There's enlightenment coming. But just because you're saying, yeah, okay, I'll do it, and then you break left, yeah, no. You're not waiting the appropriate time for it to catch up to you. You're saying it and you're expecting an instant reaction, an instant gratification, but it's not ever going to happen until you literally make the sacrifice. Whether it's literally scheduling yourself off and then scheduling yourself for yourself. Like today, I have on this day from 2 to 4, and I am booked solid to everybody but me. If that's what you have to do on this day in Juvember of 20, never of February, make yourself available to only yourself. It's at that point that you get to make the sacrifice, take the time, and wait on the answer. Do not just say it and then fake it to make it, because it's not going to happen. You will not be releasing fear that way. You will not be getting your higher truths that way. But, if you make that choice, if you make that unselfish sacrifice and choose you choose to make this a standing date with just yourself, like paying you first. When you gotta pay your employees, you gotta pay you too, right? Because you work just as hard as they did. This is when you get higher self-control. You get to develop stronger connections with yourself. You get, what else do we get? Mm-mm. No blind spots. We don't get blind spots. What else do we get? An infinite amount of possibilities. And we can keep going. No more mischief. It's done. It's over with. There's no deceit coming, because you took the time to cross every T and dot every single I this time. So literally take the time, develop, push through, do not move the mountain, climb the mountain, okay? You don't benefit anybody, including yourself, by moving the mountain out of your way, okay? Nope, that does not help you at all. You have to learn how to climb that mountain. And until you're willing to make that sacrifice, it's going to be stop sign, I'll quit it, don't stop, don't put that down. You're constantly going to be doing that the entire time. You're worth it. Take the time, find the time, and then commit to yourself, because there's nobody else worthy of it until you do it for you. And that's what I got for you, babe. Which cards everywhere.
I'm muted. Oops. High Priestess of Spirit. The Warrior. And Hope. You you are a spiritual, oops, oh, I hate the backwards. You are a spiritual warrior. You feel this in yourself. You give people around you, why is that card hiding? You give people around you hope. There's that beautiful, like, to the intuition, the moon, the hope, kind of like a star card. So right off the bat, these are these three cards. That's that direct message. Now this is where it gets interesting. Well, I'll end with this is weird how I like cards out. Sometimes certain cards want to go first, some want to go last. The last two is going to be risk and obedience. So with the obedience also feels like justice. So with the risk, taking those chances, you were talking about sacrificing. So for me too, this is to take a risk. We have to sacrifice things that no longer serve us. Voices in our head that are there, that are put maybe there by us, by others, our environment, social media, whatever it is, wherever you're tuning into, you have to start tuning it out. Because again, they want to say you are connected to spirit. You
Mm-hmm.
are a spiritual warrior. You have that energy, that fearness inside of you. And it definitely wants to come out. And by doing that, letting go, risking, getting rid of, because sometimes letting go is what people feel like they have to sacrifice, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's unhealthy habits. Oh, actually, that's perfect. Unhealthy habits, because in this spread, I got the lust card again. So that's involved there. But the card that came first was differences, trying to see things black and white, apple pears, that kind of connotation. So this is a balance for me between, and when I say positive and negative thoughts or energies, just because the dark doesn't mean it's the bad, it's finding that balance. And up until this point, I asked if I could get more of a clarification. I got forbidden. Okay, what is forbidden? I feel like there's something that is holding you back from being able to have that balance. And then I got the lust card. And I said, okay, this could very well be a relationship, an intimate relationship, where it felt like this person was putting, thoughts into your head that, or beliefs that might not have been your own. And I asked for another clarification for that, and I got love. So I feel like this could very well be kind of being addicted to, that the negative thoughts that get into our way of finding that balance, and that keeps us from being able to open those doors. It's like you can do all of that spiritual warrior stuff and giving people hope. You can move forward doing all of this, and positive risk taking, the justice, the balance, the obedience. I love that. However, there is something that is holding you, and I feel like this may have been actual, relationship, whether it's with another individual, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual one. It could be with a parent. It could be with a friend. It could be, somebody random that you met that had put thoughts in. But whatever it is, you really need to focus on the loving aspect. And what I got, then I asked for a little bit more clarification. It's complicated. So they said that what this is about. So it's complicated. They said, but they want to give you a reminder, something not to forget. And that's loyalty. Being loyal to who you are, being loyal to what, um, you believe in, what you know is right, and choosing yourself over the negative self talk from other people. And there's that card again. This could be like a relationship card, like a lover's card, but it also can represent the devil card. So only you know what this complicated situation is. But once you get past that, You will be able to get that knowledge. You will be able to move through that, and you will be able to take that risk, let go of what no longer serves you, and start working towards that balance. That when it says obedience, it's not like the obedience of, like a master and a slave. It's just that you will no longer be obedient to somebody else's, you know, their philosophy, their beliefs, whatever, whatever, like Madonna saying, don't hang your shit on me. Whatever somebody might be hanging on, trying to put hang on you, you have to let. And I think too, if I could just interject really quick, a lot of these shadow readings are always on a collective, because this is stuff that we are always some working through at some point. So everybody's readings here are all messages really for ourselves, reminders, especially when certain similar situations come up. So that was something that, I had to toss, I was told to toss in there really quick. But in a nutshell, you know what it is, the situation, you know what this relationship is, you know what you need to do to be able to walk through those doors, to find that balance. And honey, when you do, it's beautiful. I mean, this is already you. You just have to let go of what no longer serves you. I mean, look how gorgeous. The high priestess of spirit. You have all of them. You have the air, the fire, the water, the earth. That's all contained within you. And it resonates. The issue is with a parent. When I was talking, sharing that it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be for me, I had a mother that was very much in this energy, and that was very detrimental in putting thoughts into my head. I'm not saying it's your mother, but I understand that. So is card can represent any type of relationship that is not healthy. So
It definitely can.
I'll end with that. Hi, Kristen Louise. I used your cards a couple times, my dear. So Kristen here, just really quick, she is the creator of the deck, one of the decks that I've been using today, the Star Room. And you can get these cards from Kristen. The link is on her channel. So,
Yeah.
if inclined, purchase responsibly. But if anyone fell in love with those cards and you want to help support an independent artist, and creator and reader, that is that's where you can go if you'd like to support Kristen. So Ross, he said it resonates the issues with parents. Okay. Um, I know Deborah said it's hard, Rossi, but stand your ground. It will be okay. Um, I just want looking to see if I had gotten you were locked out of the chat. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I accident. Somebody might have accidentally timed you. It happens, Isadora. Sometimes the chat moves up so fast. So if you're tapping on something, somebody might have accidentally hit you. But you're back. You're good. Somebody named the Guardian has joined us. Hello.
Hello?
Welcome. Not familiar with you, but thank you for joining us. As long as you're of love and light. And Andrea had dropped in to say hoping that we were having a great day, and we are. Thank you for being here. And Holly, don't be ever sorry. This is what chat is for. We share our stories, our experiences, and this is always a safe space for everybody. Everybody knows that in my chat. So please don't be sorry for being who you are and sharing your experiences with us. So um, I think I caught up with everybody. I can't blame Cosmic Orphan. No, you can't. He's not here. He accidentally timed out somebody the other day. So,
Oh no.
yeah. Okay. Kristen said, did a man's voice just say hello or did I imagine it? You did not imagine it. I thought I heard something too, but I just thought it might have been something outside or what. But that was very interesting, Kristen. So,
So
I
it
want to
came
go.
from like your area?
I don't know. I thought, because I hear stuff and
We're
whatnot.
all going, huh? We're looking around like where, huh?
Hold on a second. I'm going to shuffle on this. Who was the man's voice that we just heard? I got to shuffle. Inquiring minds
No,
want to know.
no. Miles is over here going, who? Well, I'm the only man here. I don't know. You see me looking, I don't know. I sent everybody else away. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I got the high priestess, so people say use your intuition. Oh, Intuition, Four of Swords, meditation, going within, and another hermit. And there's the male. So someone said use your intuition. So for all of it, maybe that was that might
Apparently,
be maybe that might be
you
for
have a
you, Kristen.
connection, or so I know how you invited like my guides and everything, and they love to connect subconsciously to people. But he's over here looking around for the voice. We heard no voice, so what I'm wondering
Okay.
is if maybe the two of you's guides didn't connect on some level just then, or at least that's what he's thinking because he's looking around under crap, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm looking for the man," and I'm like, "There's no man."
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch playback and see, but it's so
I
there's
heard
like I
nothing.
don't
We
remember
we
hearing.
we heard nothing, so it's got to
That's
be just on you
interesting.
guys.
So Guardian, been subbed for a while, first time catching you live. Well, welcome. Thank you. Hello, Jessica Lynn. I feel good in the community. I wish I could connect more often. Well, you are. You're here for a lot of lives. We appreciate everybody, and we know that not everybody can make all of them because there's so many of us.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, that's
and great
true.
job, Kristen. Beautiful. So, everybody, thank you for joining Hershey and I today. Oh, Sarah. Oops, Sarah Taylor. I heard a man too. Been watching for a while. So, yeah, very interesting. So we'll have to watch out
Apparently,
the
we're
playback.
slacking because we heard nothing, so
So
it
this
had nothing to
messenger
do with us.
girl.
It's not for the rooted side. It's got to be for the love and light side. You know,
Okay.
that parallel side that works with us.
Yeah, the balance. So very interesting. Um, so yes, thank you, Sarah, for being here and letting us know. That's very interesting. I'll have to do the playback. So Hershey, thank
Definitely.
you.
Thank you
For
for
some on my
inviting me.
channel. I loved it. I hope you come back. I thoroughly enjoy reading with you. And do you have anything coming up that you want to share with everybody before we go?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, my calendar's kind of my calendar's full. I have a solo live tomorrow at 9:15 tomorrow night. I have my Thursday, which is for Facebook. I go live on Facebook every Thursday
Okay.
once at 10, and then sometimes again at night, but not always at night. Friday I have two private reads Friday, and then Mondays are my meta messages, and my week just
That was
literally
powerful. Like out
repeats.
yesterday. Most good.
So, yep, busy, 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 but I make sure that I take 4 to 6 hours every single day just for me. So, always busy, but always learning, always growing.
Very nice. And I was told to shuffle again. So this man's voice that some of us heard, I think it's a loved one here for somebody. If I can just indulge everybody really quick, I got the Five of Cups. So someone is having a hard time moving on. Very sad. I mean, they're just looking at all the broken cups. There's one behind. So somebody is really going through something emotionally sad, something that they can't let go of. Someone recently had a tower moment, and this is the sun. This is, I think, them coming through, and it said the sun. So I don't know if it was a male that somebody lost, but this is the first time this has ever happened. Um, it could be a female coming through that is sad, or this is for a female, but the card represents, you know, the cups that are already there in front of you that are broken. You're living in like a nostalgia. You're kind of like living in the past a little bit. You can't seem to move on with this beautiful, bright cup behind you. There was a tower moment. Something was really shooken up, but there's a beautiful sun coming out and knowing that you are blessed. So I feel like this might have been a spirit message. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody right now in chat or maybe somebody watching in the future. So I'll just leave it at that then.
So, because I'm on the rooted side, I just wanted to see if my guides were going to do the same thing. I'm so sorry. Go away. So I actually got the exact opposite. So Miles, my team is literally like apples for me are bad, guys. So if apples
Oh,
show in a read, because I read subconsciously, if an apple shows up, this is not the one that keeps the doctor away, okay? This is the one that is full of worms and infection and is literally covered in all kinds of sugar and spice and everything nice, but it's absolutely rotten to the core. I'm being told that if any and all that heard that voice, absolutely do not go without protection and to guiding yourself to figuring out what and who the voice is, whether it is a loved one or not. So grab some stones, rosaries, crosses, whatever you use for your protection, black salt, I don't care. But as a person that works in the rooted, I didn't hear anything. And usually if I don't hear anything, that's usually a warning sign. So, and then for apples to be what pops up, please look at the risk first before you bite into that apple.
See, now for me, apples are extremely spiritual objects for me.
I get it. I know it. In
It's
real life, I
interesting.
love apples and will eat them all day long. I'll eat fried apples. I'll eat apple pie. I will eat
Apples,
apples in
anything.
real
Apple
life.
strudel. Oh
Spiritually,
my Lord.
not spiritually. No, it's a big ass no for me when it comes spiritually. But real life, yes, I love apples. I use them in my altars. But spiritually, in a read, usually somebody's trying to cover something up and they want to do it in the best way possible. So,
Interesting.
lots of risk.
Okay. Well, 2 hours. Didn't even feel like it's been 2 hours. Those
It
readings
does
were
not.
amazing.
It does not.
So yes, Snow White.
Right?
But me, I love apples because of my connection and past lives with Avalon. So apples were always so
Mhm,
very sacred,
mhm.
to us priestesses back then.
This is usually one of the harder ones when it pops up because people have to be like, no, no. And my team's going, yes, yes. You better tell them. So, yeah, like, there's an equal and opposite side to everything. Just
Yeah,
be
the
cautious.
seeds in the center are so feminine. Exactly. So, but Deborah said, great reads, you guys. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And
Thank you.
again, thank you everybody who was here watching earlier that had to go, that came back, lurking. Love you so much. I will be on tomorrow evening at, I think it's 8 p.m. this time. Ivana and I will be doing full moon readings for this coming Friday. So hopefully see everybody there. Go check out Hershe shows, especially that Monday Meta. That was amazing that I watched yesterday. So
Thank you. Thank you.
everyone, have a great night. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you on the next live. Bye.
Hey guys, until next time.